Few tourist destinations in America share as colorful a history as the Catskill Mountains. For decades in the mid-20th century, huge numbers of tourists came to visit the colorful area and its surrounding region of Sullivan County, New York, for the finest in outdoor activities, hospitality, dining, and entertainment. Today, these mountains, about 90 miles north of New York City, are experiencing a tourism renaissance. It's a most welcome rebirth that's bringing visitors back to enjoy its one-of-a-kind beauty and hospitality.
Sullivan Catskills and Catskills in general have been a vacation destination for well over 100 years. People started coming out of the city to avoid the heat. The resurgence that's going on in Sullivan County, I would say, is primarily driven by our resources. We have beautiful mountains, wonderful waterways, opportunities for hiking, fishing, biking, boating, very low-key, very welcoming attitude and approach that hospitality has in the Sullivan Catskills. There's a lot to do in New York State. There's a lot to do that's close to New York City, but a lot of that is very expensive and very dense. So people are choosing to come here rather than, say, going to the Hamptons or the outer parts of Long Island.
The only institution of higher education in Sullivan County, SUNY Sullivan, is part of the State University of New York system, committed to providing programs and resources that educate, inspire, and empower students to prepare for their future in a diverse and interconnected world. Recognizing this area's resurgence, SUNY Sullivan helped form the Catskill Hospitality Institute as an entrepreneurial response to the expanding hospitality, tourism, and culinary industry in the Catskills region of New York State.
The mission of SUNY Sullivan, like the mission of most community colleges, to provide educational opportunities that are responsive to local need. For us, that means a transfer pathway for students who want to go on and get a bachelor's degree, but even more importantly here in Sullivan County, it's to provide workforce development programming that gets people employed. We're providing an opportunity for people to train and be entrepreneurial and be responsive to the changes that are happening in that industry and really draw on the bounty of Sullivan County. So we're looking at culinary and pastry arts, we're looking at hospitality and tourism management, we're looking at outdoor recreation management, and an entrepreneurial track, so a business track to really have students be able to start their own businesses, find a home here, and flourish.
Supporting the positive economic and social change within this resurgent region, the Sullivan Catskills Visitors Association is also partnering with SUNY Sullivan for the Catskill Hospitality Institute, where a history of hospitality education meets the future of tourism. The SCVA and SUNY Sullivan are working as partners to continue to bring tourists to the area and to make sure current students who become future employees gain the skills and education needed to be successful in the hospitality and tourism industries.
The goal of the partnership with the both of us is to provide a workforce to our travel and tourism industry. What we're looking to do is to have the most excellent of tourism employees and hospitality trained employees to work in some of our finest attractions and give the visitors an amazing, excellent tourism experience.
There's been a lot of money spent in New York State on bricks and mortar for different kinds of properties and the development of those properties. What we're investing in is the human side of that. What's the smile on the face that brings people back time after time after time? What's the quality of the food that people eat? What's the plate look like? What's their experience while they're here?
I had searched through all the main big names that you're familiar with schools, and after some exploring and visiting, I found that the quality of education there, and really the depth that you wouldn't necessarily associate with a smaller school, it was exciting to see that we had something locally that was so good. It was far more affordable than really anything else available. So then when you weigh the cost versus quality, it's really a win-win.
We need people who are really well trained and have a good foundation in culinary. We need to have them be able to hit the ground running, and it's a great resource to have that school right there. 5 people on our team are graduates of the school right now. The folks that come out of the school are very well trained, so we have a foundation to work with that can really bring them up to the level that we want them to be at. So we appreciate that. We mostly hire culinary graduates or people with extensive experience because it's not a job you can do if you've just worked at Denny's.
The greatest feature for us is a sustainable workforce to work with the growth that's happening. We're one of the fastest growing industries in New York State, and more development is happening here. We work with many of our development partners to make sure we bring this sustainable growth in our backyard, and the most important key to it is an incredible workforce to service our visitors. Without them, it's not success. And for us, this partnership means success to the tourism industry in this area.
I think for people who are here, they know the historical significance of the place, but it's now an opportunity to be part of a future. And I would invite anyone who's interested in experiencing that or participating in that to join us in the Sullivan Catskills.
The Catskills are alive and well again, and SUNY Sullivan and the Sullivan Catskills Visitors Association are working together to ensure tourists enjoy their time when visiting this extraordinary vacation destination. For more information, visit sunysullivan.edu or sullivancatskills.com.